What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, we're going to talk about Wave's Creative Access. This is Wave's brand new subscription service, and moving forward, it's going to be the only way to get new Wave's plugins. I'm going to say that again before someone asks in the comments. This will be the only way to get new Wave's plugins. The plugins that you currently have are going to continue to work fine, but when there is time to update them, you will need to be a part of one of these two subscription services in order to move forward. This means that Waves will no longer be selling Perpetual license. So in this video, I'm going to go over what Waves Creative Access is. I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions, and I'm going to give my initial thoughts about everything. But before we get started, let's give a moment of silence for Waves Perpetual license. All right, with that out the way, let's get into this. So Waves Creative Access is going to consist of two different bundles. One is going to be called Waves Essential. That's going to consist of 110 plugins, and it's going to be $14.99 a month or $149 for a year. And then you have Waves Ultimate, which is going to include all of the Waves plugins. That's going to be $24.99 a month or $249 for a year. And with this subscription service, you no longer have to worry about the Waves update plan because it's going to be included in the subscription, which is going to keep all of your plugins up to date. And when new plugins are announced from Waves, it's going to go into either of these bundles. It's going to go into either the Essential bundle or the Ultimate bundle. And you can upgrade and downgrade between the two as you see fit. You can also cancel it anytime if you like. All right, so that's what the two subscription service is. Let's get into some frequently asked questions. All right, let's start off with how the trial works. So there's a 7-day trial for both bundles. If you do Waves Essential, it's going to install all of the plugins on your computer. Everything in Waves Essential will be fully functional. Everything that goes in Waves Ultimate will run in demo mode. So what demo mode is, it's going to mute the output of the plugin at random times. So if you do the Essential, you can use everything in Essential during the trial, and then in demo mode, you can try out everything else, and that just helps you determine, which one may be best for you. I believe this demo mode is something new from Waves, because before you just had just a straight 7-day trial where you can just fully use it, but now they will continue to run in demo mode. So even after your trial, you'll still have those plugins installed, and you can still use them in demo mode if you like. Can you pause your subscription? You cannot pause the subscription. You will have to cancel and resubscribe. Can you use Waves Creative Access on multiple computers at the same time? Yes and no. So you can only authorize it to run on one computer at a time. If you want to use it on multiple computers simultaneously, then you will need to purchase additional subscriptions. I feel like a way around this, just off the top of my head, is, like I said, your current Waves plugins are going to continue to work. So if you use your existing Waves account with your current plugins you already have on one computer, and then create a new Waves account and do the subscription on another computer, you'd essentially have those plugins on both computers at the same time. That's just off the top of my head. I don't see why that wouldn't work. But if you do it that way, your existing Waves account, when it is time to update those plugins, you will need to move into the subscription service. But I feel like that's a way around it for right now. I've kind of covered this, but I'm going to say it again. For those who already own Waves plugins, they will continue to work fine as long as they're compatible with the operating system you're using. Once it is time to update them, you will have to get on one of these subscription plans, but your existing Waves plugins you have now is going to continue to work fine. If you have them on multiple computers, because with the Perpetual license you do get, I think it was with a certain Waves version, you got a second license. If you have it on a second license on another computer, that's also going to continue to work fine. Nothing is going to change with that. You're really not going to be affected until it is time to update, or you want to get a new plugin that Waves comes out with. All right, frequently asked questions out of the way. Let's get into my initial thoughts on this. My first thought was that I wish Waves would have let everyone know, gave everyone a heads up, even if it was, 30 days heads up or 14 days heads up or even a week, just something to let us know that this change was coming. Therefore, if you know that you don't want to take advantage of the subscription service, you would have had a chance to purchase more Perpetual license and probably could have boosted their sales too, because everybody would have been, not everybody, but some people would have at least been running to purchase Perpetual license of plugins if, again, they knew they didn't want to take part of this subscription. There's definitely pros and cons to this, and I haven't sat down yet and really laid them all out to give a full conclusion on it. But for those people who cry about Wave's update plan, you don't have to worry about that anymore because your plugins are always going to be up to date with these subscriptions. I never cared about Wave's update plan. I only updated the plugins that I needed to update at that time. I didn't, if you update all of them, yeah, it is going to get expensive, which most times would be more expensive than this bundle. So in that sense, it can be good. I said in a future video, I'm going to break down what's included in each one of them to, help you decide which one may work best for you. But definitely interested in hearing y'all thoughts. What do you think of this change? And will you be taking advantage of this subscription service? I'm on the fence right now. I'm sure I'll eventually be choosing one of them. But this really isn't going to affect most people, or it's not going to affect current Waves users until a new plugin comes out, because then at that point, you're going to have to decide, do I want this new plugin? Do I want it bad enough to where I'm willing to get into a subscription service just to get it? And that's going to be a very tough decision. We've seen that recently with SSL, where they've came out with the Blitz compressor. And while it's a very nice compressor, I'm not willing to subscribe to their bundle just to get that plugin, especially when I already own the majority of their plugins anyway. I feel like most people over the years now already own so many Waves plugins. I'm not sure from my listener base, how many have a little to a lot of Waves plugins. I own over 90% of all the Waves plugins. So for me, this is really going to come down to when a new plugin comes out, do I want to subscribe to the service in order to get that new plugin? And like I said, that's going to be a tough decision. And if you value Waves plugins at $29 each is what they normally go for. If you look at something like the Waves Ultimate at $249 for a year, you take $29 a plugin, multiply it by 220 plugins, which really is over 220 plugins, but we'll just use 220 to make the math easy. You're looking at over $6,000 worth of plugins. So if you look at it that way, the $249 annually is a good deal. But one of my issues with subscription services is that you're giving me all of these plugins for what I'm paying, but I'm not going to use all the plugins. It's like, if you had a subscription for Walmart that allowed you to go in and get anything that you wanted, just, pay this fee annually. You can go in the store and get anything you want. At first you're like, that's cool, but I don't want everything in the store. So yeah, you're going to get, I'm just talking Waves Ultimate, you're going to get 220 plugins, but you're likely not going to use all of those plugins, which to me then brings down the value of what you're paying. But again, very interested to hear y'all thoughts. Definitely comment and let me know. I've got a link in the description if you want to check out Waves Creative Access and learn more about it. Any questions, let me know and I'll try to answer them if I can. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do. All right, I'll catch y'all next time.